Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And this time, we are going to be taking a look at.
I'm excited about this
I
one.
know I am too.
Yeah.
Travel, leisure,
Yeah.
and personal growth all kind of tied together
All together, yeah.
with a new book that's coming out
Right.
called The World is Your Playground.
By Faisal Al-Hules.
Yes, by Faisal Al-Hules.
Yeah, he's a researcher who really specializes in tech and the hospitality space.
Yeah,
It's a very interesting combination.
it is. And he does a really good job
Yeah.
of bringing it all together.
He does, like, you don't often think about those things all in the same breath,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he really brings them together beautifully.
He does. He starts off.
Yeah.
And I bet a lot of people listening can relate to this, talking about the daily grind.
Yeah.
And he uses this phrase to describe being overwhelmed and disconnected from what really matters. And it is the concrete cacophony.
The concrete cacophony. I love that. I love that imagery. Like, you're just stuck in it.
You're just, yeah.
It makes you think about breaking free and escaping.
Yes, absolutely. And he really kind of leans into that. He suggests that travel can be that escape.
Yeah.
That quest for something beyond, just the day-to-day.
But then he takes it a step further.
Okay.
He doesn't just stop with escaping this concrete cacophony.
Right.
He goes on to talk about
Okay.
leisure and how it's not a luxury, but a necessity for well-being.
Interesting.
And the thing is, he backs it up with research.
Oh, okay. So it's not.
He points to all this research that shows how leisure can actually reduce stress, it can spark creativity, and even improve your physical health.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's always good to have that research.
Yeah, there's even a study that he cites that talks about how short nature walks can really lower your cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah, so it's not just him saying like, hey, go take a break.
Right.
It's like, no, this is like scientifically backed. This is like really good for you.
This is good for you.
I love that.
Yeah, and he even addresses the, the time and the money that a lot of people say.
But those are the things that hold people back.
Right.
All the time.
He even talks about micro adventures.
Micro adventures, okay.
Which are these like short, affordable bursts of exploration that you can kind of fit into
I see.
a busy schedule.
Okay.
So think about a weekend camping trip. Or even just exploring a new part of your city.
Just something to shake it up.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and he talks about different travel styles.
Okay.
Almost like personality types for travelers.
That's a great way to think about it, yeah.
So he has things like adventure seekers.
Okay.
Who are always chasing that adrenaline rush.
Yep.
And then there's luxury lovers.
Right.
Who want comfort and curated experiences.
Totally different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, so it's not about just following like a must-see list. It's about understanding what really resonates with you.
What speaks to you?
Yes, and it's interesting how Al-Hules points out that technology is actually blurring the lines between all these different travel styles.
It's interesting how so.
He says, with all these apps and online resources, now you can actually have a luxurious experience, even if you're on a budget.
I guess you can find those deals.
Yeah.
You can find those ways to kind of elevate your experience.
Yeah. So it's about taking control and really creating your ideal travel experience.
It puts the power back in the traveler's hands.
Yes, it does.
That's cool.
Now, planning a trip can be overwhelming for some.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But Al-Hules, he breaks it down into steps.
Okay.
And he starts with what he calls the dreaming phase.
The dreaming phase.
So he really encourages you to visualize your ideal trip. Before you even get bogged down with all the logistics.
So just let your imagination run wild.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And he even has this cool exercise where you create a mood board for your trip.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Just to kind of capture that initial excitement and make the whole process more fun and inspiring.
Yeah.
So you've got your vision. You've got your budget kind of figured out.
Yeah.
Now, what about those unique, off the beaten path adventures?
Okay. Yeah.
He calls them hidden gems.
Hidden gems. I like that.
And I gotta say, when I was reading this, it was like major wanderlust kicking in.
I bet.
Yeah.
It makes you want to just get out there and explore.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he talks about moving beyond those tourist traps and really diving into the heart of a destination.
Yeah, getting into the real nitty-gritty.
And he suggests things like doing homestays with local families, attending local festivals, and even volunteering as ways to experience the culture authentically.
Oh, wow. That's a great idea. Yeah.
I love that.
There's even this great story he shares about a traveler who just stumbled upon this hidden spice market in Marrakech.
No kidding.
Yeah, just by wandering off the main tourist route.
Wow.
So it's like, imagine those sights.
Yeah.
The smells, the sounds, the chance encounters that you would totally miss if you just stuck to that guidebook.
If you just stayed on the beaten path, you would miss all that.
Totally miss it. So it's about embracing those unplanned moments.
That's a good point.
Which brings us to another important point, dealing with the unexpected. Because, let's face it, things go wrong.
Yeah, they always do.
Flights get delayed.
Yep.
Luggage gets lost.
Yeah.
It's all part of the adventure.
It is.
But Aluhiles, he encourages you to see these moments not as failures, but as opportunities.
I like that perspective.
Yeah. He even tells a story about missing a train and ending up discovering this charming village that he would never seen otherwise.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the kind of stuff that happens.
Yeah, so it's about having a flexible mindset.
Right.
And just being open to those unexpected detours.
Yeah.
And he even gives you like a traveler's toolkit.
It's a traveler's toolkit.
With tips on packing light, learning basic phrases in the local language, and even how to stay safe in those unfamiliar situations.
So he's got you covered.
He's got you covered.
And for everything.
Yeah, it's like a cheat sheet.
I like it.
For navigating those travel hiccups.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's that combination of practical advice and just that positive, adaptable mindset.
Right.
That really makes his book so empowering.
It does.
He's not just telling you what to do.
Yeah.
He's actually equipping you.
Giving you the tools.
To handle whatever comes your way.
I love that.
Yeah. And speaking of navigating new experiences, let's talk about cultural immersion.
Okay.
Al-Huiz goes beyond the superficial here.
Right.
He really encourages you to go deeper.
Deeper.
So it's not just about seeing the sights, it's about understanding the people, the customs, the way of life.
Right, really immersing yourself.
Yes, and he really emphasizes genuine interaction, learning local customs.
Okay.
And most importantly, respecting differences.
Yes, that's key.
It is, and there's this fascinating section where he talks about food.
Food, okay.
As a cultural ambassador.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so he describes how sharing a meal with locals can really open up conversation and foster a deeper understanding of a culture.
It's like a universal language in a way.
It is. Yeah. I hadn't even really thought about it like that before.
The food brings people together.
It does.
Yeah.
And he even points out that technology can play a role here.
Oh, okay. How so?
Like with apps that can connect you with local chefs.
Oh, cool.
Or even guide you through traditional markets.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
Yeah.
So that's a cool way to use technology.
It is. So we've explored escaping the daily grind, the importance of leisure, finding your travel style, planning those adventures, and even embracing the unexpected and immersing ourselves in culture.
That's a lot.
It is.
So what's next?
Well, it's not just about that outward journey. It's about the inward journey, too.
The inward journey.
Yeah, it's about recharging, reconnecting, and finding that balance.
I like it.
In our lives.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, because when we come back, we're going to dive into the transformative power of leisure and how it can help you unleash your inner artist. Step outside your comfort zone and discover those new passions.
Sounds good. I can't wait.
Me too.
Yeah. Welcome back. So we were talking about cultural immersion, and now we are really going to kind of dive deeper into this idea of leisure and its transformative power.
It's not just about those big adventures abroad, right? It's also about finding those moments of peace and renewal in your everyday life.
Exactly. And, you know, Al-Huiz really emphasizes the importance of mindfulness and finding joy, even in the simple things. So he talks about activities like, you know, yoga meditation, spending time in nature, even just taking a few minutes to disconnect from technology and just be present in the moment.
It's about recognizing that leisure isn't a reward for hard work.
Right.
It's an essential part of a well-rounded life.
It is.
And it's fascinating how he connects this idea of leisure to creativity.
Oh, interesting.
There's a whole section on unleashing your inner artist.
I love that.
It's so inspiring.
Yeah.
Because he really emphasizes that creativity isn't about being like a master painter or musician.
Right.
It's about the joy of the process.
The process, yeah.
Expressing yourself and tapping into that human desire to create.
I like that.
And he even quotes Picasso, said every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once he grows up.
Oh, that's so true.
It is. So it's like reconnecting with that childlike sense of wonder and playfulness.
Yeah. And he also encourages you to try new things.
You
know, step outside that comfort zone. Explore those hidden passions you might not even know you have.
Yes, he does. He even provides this list
Okay.
called A World of Hobbies to Explore.
Oh, wow.
With ideas ranging from painting and writing to outdoor adventures and learning new skills.
This is something for everyone.
For literally everyone, yeah.
That's great.
And he encourages you to think back to your childhood and those things that really sparked your curiosity.
Yeah.
Those activities that brought you pure joy.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was building things, taking things apart, writing stories, playing music, or exploring the outdoors. He believes that those early passions can really give you clues.
I see.
To your true calling.
Oh, that's a cool way to look at it.
It is, yeah. It's like giving yourself permission to play again, to explore without judgment.
That's so important.
Yeah, and he even suggests, if you need a little structure or inspiration to join a class or a workshop.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that could be fun.
Yeah. There's something powerful about being part of a community.
I think so, too.
Of like-minded people who encourage and support your journey.
You need that support system.
Yes, you do.
Absolutely.
It's about finding those spaces where you can truly be yourself and explore your passions without the fear of failure.
That's really cool.
And speaking of exploration, there's a whole section on culinary arts.
Culinary arts.
He gives tips on choosing the right culinary school, highlighting key factors to consider like curriculum, faculty, hands-on experience. So it's interesting how he really weaves together travel, leisure, and personal growth.
He does.
Because learning new skills, especially in a field like culinary arts, can really be an adventure.
It can be its own adventure.
Yeah, it's about expanding your horizons, challenging yourself.
Yeah.
Opening up all these new possibilities.
That's awesome.
Now, before we get to the heart of Alhulay's message about travel as a journey of self-discovery, I want to touch on one more thing that he really emphasizes throughout the book.
Okay.
And it's the importance of building lasting memories.
Building lasting memories.
He talks about the power of a travel journal.
Okay.
Not just as a simple diary.
Yeah.
But as a tool for reflection.
Okay.
To capture those sensory details, those moments of insight, even those challenging experiences. That shape your journey.
I mean, that makes sense because you want to remember those things.
You do.
Right.
So it's about going beyond just documenting what you did.
Right.
It's about exploring how those experiences made you feel, what you learned about yourself and the world around you.
It's deeper than just writing down what you did.
Exactly. Yeah. He even suggests incorporating sketches, photos, ticket stubs, other mementos to create this multi-sensory record of your adventures.
I love that.
Yeah, it's about creating a tangible reminder of your journey.
It is.
That you can revisit and share with others.
Yeah, I like that.
And speaking of sharing, he encourages you to tell your travel stories, whether it's through conversations, blog posts, or even just sharing photos with friends and family.
Right.
He believes that the act of sharing actually deepens your own appreciation for what you've experienced and allows you to inspire others.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that your experiences, both the grand adventures and those quiet moments of reflection, become a part of who you are.
They really do.
They shape your perspectives, your values, your understanding of the world.
Yeah.
And when you share those stories, you invite others to embark on their own journeys.
That's beautiful.
Okay. I think we are ready to dive into what I consider the most profound part of the book.
Okay, let's do it.
Which is travel as a journey of self-discovery.
All right, this is where it gets deep.
This is where it gets deep. So this is where Alhulay's really goes beyond typical travel advice.
Okay.
And gets to the heart of why travel can be so transformative. He argues that it's not just about seeing new places, it's about exploring the uncharted territories within ourselves.
Within ourselves, okay.
Yeah. So it's like using those external journeys as a mirror to reflect on our own internal landscapes.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And he describes it as this parallel journey.
Okay, a parallel journey.
Where the unfamiliar landscapes that we encounter become a metaphor for those uncharted territories of our own hearts and minds.
Interesting.
So as we navigate new cultures, new languages, new ways of being, we also confront our own assumptions, our fears, our limiting beliefs.
That's a challenge.
It is. It's about pushing ourselves outside those comfort zones and discovering strengths that we didn't even know we had.
Right, because you're put in those situations where you have to
figure it out.
You have to.
Yeah.
And he talks about how travel can force you to be more resourceful, more adaptable, more resilient.
You do. You learn to solve problems on the fly, navigate those unfamiliar situations, and trust your instincts.
Yeah.
There's a great anecdote he shares about getting lost in the back streets of Tokyo.
Oh.
And how That experience, while initially stressful, ultimately taught him to embrace uncertainty and trust his ability to find his way.
To trust himself.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson.
It is. So it's a reminder that sometimes getting lost is the best way to find yourself.
I like that.
And those skills that you develop on the road, they don't just disappear when you go home.
Right.
They become part of your toolkit for navigating life's challenges.
They do, yeah.
So you become more confident, more open to new experiences, and better equipped to handle whatever life throws your way.
It makes you stronger.
Yes, and one of the most powerful transformations that Alatules highlights is how travel can really help you clarify your purpose.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is, because when you're removed from those routines and expectations of your daily life, you actually have space to reflect on what really matters.
Oh, yeah. It gives you that space to think.
It does. It's like hitting the pause button on autopilot.
I like that.
And asking yourself, okay, where am I headed? What do I really want?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It is, and those revelations can take many forms.
Okay.
For some, it might be discovering a hidden passion, realizing that a certain career path no longer aligns with their values.
Right.
For others, it might be about reconnecting with loved ones or prioritizing personal growth.
Right.
Sometimes it's as simple as overcoming fears and realizing that you're capable of so much more than you thought.
I think that's huge.
It is, yeah. And he talks about how he used to be terrified of heights. And then he challenged himself to go hiking in the Himalayas.
Oh, wow.
It's a powerful example of how facing those fears, especially in a new, unfamiliar environment, can be so liberating.
It can be.
Yeah, it breaks down those self-imposed limitations and opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
If I can do that, I can do anything.
Exactly. And it's not just about individual growth.
Okay.
Alajueles also emphasizes how travel fosters a sense of connection. Both with others and with the world as a whole.
Interesting.
So when you immerse yourself in these different cultures, you start to see the world through a different lens.
Right.
You develop empathy, understanding a deeper appreciation for the diversity of human experience.
Yeah, it makes the world a little bit smaller.
It does.
Yeah.
And you realize that despite our differences, we share so much in common.
Right.
Hopes, dreams, fears, aspirations.
All human.
We are.
Yeah.
And those connections, those shared human experiences can be so powerful.
Well, it can be, yeah.
And he even talks about how travel can inspire a desire to give back.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's through volunteering or simply being a more mindful and responsible traveler.
Right.
It's about recognizing that we're all part of something much bigger than ourselves and wanting to make a positive impact.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It is, yeah. It's about shifting from that me perspective to a we perspective.
A we perspective.
Seeing yourself as part of this global community.
It's a mindset shift.
It is.
Yeah.
And that sense of interconnectedness can be so transformative. It can change the way you see yourself, the way you interact with others, the way you approach life.
I mean, it's big.
It is big.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to emphasize that this journey of self-discovery through travel, it's not a one-time thing.
Right.
It's an ongoing process.
Yeah, you're always growing and changing.
Always.
Yeah.
And with each new experience, each new encounter, you learn something new about yourself and about the world.
That's the beauty of it.
And as Alajueles so beautifully puts it, the most significant adventures are often the ones that we embark on within ourselves.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
So it's about cultivating that mindset of curiosity, openness, and a willingness to step outside that comfort zone no matter where you are.
Exactly.
You can find adventure and opportunities for growth right in your own backyard.
In your own backyard.
In your own backyard.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's encouraging.
It is.
Yeah.
So in your own backyard, in your community, in the everyday moments of your life, it's about approaching life with that sense of wonder, embracing the unexpected, and never losing that thirst for exploration.
I love it.
Both inward and outward.
I love it.
And, you know, Alajueles doesn't just leave us with these profound insights about travel and self-discovery.
Right.
He also provides practical tips and resources to help you plan your next adventure.
Oh, that's great.
So he offers advice on everything from budget travel to packing light to leveraging technology to enhance your travel experience.
On all ears.
He even includes a section called Travel Hacks.
Oh, cool.
With clever tips like using airline loyalty programs and exploring destinations during the off-season to avoid those crowds.
Oh, yeah. Good tips.
So in the spirit of Alajueles' comprehensive approach, we'll be right back to delve into those practical tips and resources so you can start planning your next adventure.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so We are back and ready to dive into some of Alhuli's practical tips and resources.
Yes. Let's get practical.
To make these travel dreams a reality.
I like it.
So let's start with something that I think is on a lot of people's minds. Budget travel.
Yes. Budget travel, crucial.
What kind of gems does he have for us there?
Oh, he's got some good ones. For starters, he recommends checking out low-cost airlines, of course.
Okay.
But he reminds you to be mindful of those extra fees, for baggage seat selection, things like that.
Yeah, those can really add up.
So pack light.
Words to live by.
That's it. That's the mantra.
What about accommodation?
Accommodation?
Yeah.
Well, he suggests considering hostels or guest houses, especially if you're traveling solo or on a tight budget.
Okay.
They can be so much more affordable than hotels.
Yeah.
And a fantastic way to meet other people.
I've heard great things about hostels.
I mean, you do have to kind of do your research.
Yeah.
Make sure they're safe and clean.
Right.
But there are tons of great options out there.
I think I'm ready to give it a try.
I think you should. Yeah.
So we've got flights. We've got a place to stay. Now the other big one.
Yeah.
Food.
Food. Oh, yeah. That can get expensive.
It really can if you're eating out for every meal.
Right. And Alhulis acknowledges that. So he actually recommends cooking some of your own meals.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Especially if you're staying somewhere with a kitchen.
Yeah.
You can experience those local ingredients, save money.
Yeah. And you can even kind of bring those flavors back home with you.
It's a souvenir you can eat.
Exactly. Okay. So we've got flights, accommodation, food covered.
Yeah.
What about those unique, authentic experiences? Are those always going to cost a fortune?
Not necessarily.
No.
Alhulis is all about supporting local businesses.
Okay.
So think family-run restaurants, artisan shops, local markets.
Yeah.
Not only is it a great way to connect with the community, experience the culture, but you're also helping out those local businesses.
Yeah. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins, exactly.
I am all about those travel reward programs.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Does Alhulis have any tips for maximizing those?
He does. He's a big fan of travel rewards. He says, make sure you're signed up for airline miles, hotel points programs, all of that.
Okay.
Utilize them whenever you can.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how quickly those points add up.
Yeah. Free flights, upgrades.
Perks, all that good stuff.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Now, planning resources.
Okay.
I will admit, I get overwhelmed sometimes with all the websites and the apps.
It's a lot.
It really is.
Yeah.
What are some of Alhulis' go-to resources?
Well, he's all about using technology to streamline and enhance the travel experience.
Okay.
So he recommends travel comparison websites to find the best deals on flights and accommodations.
Yeah, those can be lifesavers.
They can, especially when you're trying to compare prices. Find something that fits your budget.
Right.
He also suggests downloading offline maps.
Oh, that's a good one.
Especially when you're in a new place, you don't want to rack up those roaming charges.
No.
And he's a big proponent of language learning apps.
Okay.
Even if you just learn a few basic phrases.
Yeah, it shows respect.
It does. And it can really enhance your interactions.
Yeah, and make everything so much easier.
Way easier. And he also recommends checking out travel blogs and forums.
Okay, those are still relevant.
They are, yeah. People love to share their experiences and tips, and you can find some really good stuff there. Hidden gems, insider tips.
I like it.
It's like having a virtual travel buddy.
Yeah, it really is. So it's amazing how technology can both simplify and enhance the travel experience.
It can.
But I think it's important to remember that it's not just about the technology.
Right.
It's about the experiences, the connections, the personal growth.
Absolutely.
And I love that Alhulis reminds us to embrace the idea of slow travel.
Slow travel. What is that?
It's about savoring the journey.
Okay.
Taking the time to really connect with the places you visit and the people you meet.
I see.
It's quality over quantity.
Right.
Instead of trying to cram in as many sites as possible.
Yeah.
Choose a few destinations that really speak to you.
Okay.
And really immerse yourself.
I like it.
So travel isn't just about ticking things off a bucket list.
Right. It's so much more than that.
It's about the memories you create.
The experiences.
Personal growth.
The connection.
And returning home a little bit changed.
Yeah, a little bit wiser.
With a renewed appreciation for the world and your place in it.
Beautifully said. I love that.
So as Alhulis says, the world is your playground.
It is.
Go explore, discover, and most importantly, have fun.
Couldn't agree more.
And remember, the adventure starts now. Even if you can't hop on a plane today, you can still cultivate that spirit of curiosity and exploration in your own backyard, in your community, and never stop learning and growing.
Yes.
Who knows, maybe some way we'll bump into each other on a hidden trail in the Himalayas.
Maybe.
Or sharing a delicious meal at a local market in Marrakech.
I hope so. That sounds amazing.
Until then, happy travels, everyone.
Happy travels.